the biggest switch-ups in fiction. Now, I'm talking about those characters that unexpectedly just turned the tables around and just completely switched to the other side. Just absolutely betrayed and completely catch the main characters or the main group by surprise. So yeah, not only was it unexpected for us, but also the main characters, or who we thought were the main characters. So yeah, enough yapping, let's get into it. Starting off, we've got Omni-Man, a pretty famous one. I'm pretty sure most of us, when we first started Invincible, we all thought it was a superhero copycat, where this team right here is the copycat of the Justice League. I'm pretty sure we all thought that. We thought Omni-Man was the great hero Superman, even though Immortal was right there, but we all thought Omni-Man was the Superman. And the rest of them were just B-Tech Justice League members. We all see them have a happy, pretty cool relationship. We all thought they were boys, we all thought they were friends. And all of a sudden, within the same first episode, the ending, we're all wondering what's going on here, and boom, Omni-Man just pulls up out of nowhere and just goes berserk. Literally smokes everybody. Literally no filter, no warning, no nothing. Not even saying a word. This was probably what really got me and everyone else into Invincible. The fact that we thought this team right here was the main team, we thought Omni-Man was good, and boom, a whole switch up. The main superhero team is smoked. The Superman type of character is actually an evil Superman. And then boom, we're following the story from there to learn more. Can't lie, this has to be one of the biggest switch ups in fiction, especially because it happened in the first episode, so unexpected. But yeah, next up we have got Griffith. Now, I recently just finished the 1997 anime of Berserk. Can't lie, absolute peak story. I really want to go get the manga and carry on the story. But yeah, so far I finished all 25 episodes, and I must say, one of the hardest shows to find online on the internet with dub. But yeah, enough of that. If you've watched Berserk or know about Berserk, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Griffith, bro. Even though in the first episode we already hear his name be like a bad character, an evil character, and then when we actually see him introduced, we all thought he was like a knight in shining armor, one of the best characters, so caring about his team, all of that. The whole gang, the whole band of the Hawk love and adore and admire Griffith right here. But then we find out later in the story, his ambition of getting his own kingdom, his own castle, was so crazy to the point where he pretty much saw everyone else in the band of the Hawk and everyone around him as tools. He mainly used them to further his goal, but to be fair, there is an argument where he didn't actually care about the people, especially people like Guts and other people, but that's a conversation for another day. There's also times where he literally put his life on the line for people like Guts and other people. There was also a flashback moment where he literally did it with the medieval Diddy. Yes, I'm not even joking. If you remember this flashback, that was absolutely crazy. And the fact he did it to benefit the band of the Hawk, get them more money, get them more tools, all of that. But there's also the argument where he literally did it for himself, as if he didn't have the band of the Hawk, he would have nothing. So yeah, it depends on how you see it. I can't lie, Berserk, the story, the characters are so interesting and so complex. I highly recommend watching it. But yeah, we get to the point towards the end. After being arrested and pretty much spent 3 years being absolutely played about with, tortured, smoked, all of that. He was basically unrecognizable when Guts and the rest of the band of the Hawk found him, and then boom, he found his necklace, pretty much did a whole domain expansion, and summoned a bunch of the demons. And what did he do? Pretty much make a deal with those demons to pretty much heal himself, get back on his feet, and transform into an actual demon. Like he literally became another demon. And guess what happened to the band of the Hawk that were there? He branded them all and put them up as sacrifices. His whole team right here got absolutely smoked in this domain expansion. Bro, this was like a Red Wedding type of episode. This was so crazy. But yeah, the betrayal, the confusion, the anger, all of that in this one episode was crazy. All of the band of the Hawk, after admiring and rescuing Griffith the whole time, only for him to literally betray them. And yeah, I can't lie, it was so crazy. But yeah, Griffith, bro, that was a crazy switch up. And the fact that he kept Guts alive and kept him there made him watch him do it with Casca in the most craziest way, locking eyes. Nah, I'm not gonna lie, that was so evil. Oh man, the difference between episode 2 Griffith and now is crazy. But yeah, can't lie, that is definitely one of the biggest switch ups in fiction. Now finally, I have got Robb Starks, the Red Wedding. Now I don't mean Robb Starks himself, I'm talking about the whole event, where the Boltons and the Freys literally switched up on Robb Stark. The whole time we thought Robb Stark was going to be the main character after Ned Stark, and we were completely wrong. As soon as Catelyn Stark found out or realized that it was a whole trap, the whole wedding was a trap, yeah, the pain, the confusion, Like, it was going off. All the emotions were going off right there. I'm pretty sure all of us were absolutely shocked at this episode right here. The fact that this show right here pretty much smoked the two main characters, or who we thought were pretty much the main characters, Ned Stark and Robb. And yeah, I can't lie, it was so unexpected, but to be fair, we all should have expected it. But the fact that we all thought he was the main character, and also thought that all the Northerners and the Rivermen were gonna help Robb Stark get to King's Landing and get rid of the usurper. But nope, they had other ideas. Yeah, crazy episode. But yeah, I can't lie though, if there are some more switch ups in fiction that you think I should have added, let me know down below. And yeah,